All right, we are back with our top 8. I am Felicity, and joining me is...
Tuffy. Hello, everyone.
So I'm super excited to get started here. We've got another matchup for you. We're really excited to check out what decks they're running.
Yeah, it's going to be YoWoody versus Dr. Stinky Fartson. Dr. Stink Fartson. Yeah, Dr. Stink Fartson versus YoWoodyMJ. YoWoody, obviously one of the top players at this event. Dr. Stink Fartson, I'm not as familiar with him, but I do know that he is friends with YoWoody, so I'm pretty excited. So let's see, we got these 2 decks for Dr. Stink Fartson. You want to talk about the first one?
Yeah, sure. I think Dr. Stink Fartson is going to be using the first deck here.
Yeah.
Ooh, it looks like a spicy deck. It's a Hitmonkey deck?
Yeah, and Sarah, it's not a Sarah control. There's some control elements. So we got Shadow King with Grandmaster potentially, which is a pretty cool combo. We also have Sage and Hitmonkey. So
And a pretty sneaky invisible woman there as well.
Yeah, true. I wonder what that's going to be used for. Maybe a late game or end turn Shadow King is my guess.
Yeah, I think this will be a really fun one to watch. So let's go over to Woody and see what he's going to be using. So I think he's going to be using the second deck there, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited because there's a Hazmat. Is Woody a toxic player?
I know that Felicity is a toxic player, and this is one of her favorite archetypes. So if we have a little bit of commentary bias, it's because of Hazmat. It's not because of Woody.
Oh, he's got an Iron Fist and a Ghost Spider in there as well. This is going to be really interesting to see. And for our viewers that don't know what Hawkeye,
Kate Bishop
Hawkeye does, Teffy, can you remind everyone what that card does?
Yeah, so she can get 2 random arrows out of 4, and one of the arrows will move a card. One of them it's like a Green Goblin but -2, and one of them is like Ant-Man, and then the other is like Hawkeye. So those are the 4 arrows. I don't remember their names exactly, but yeah. So I guess we got the Ghost Spider and the Grapple Hook for that dagger, which. It's interesting.
Really cool. Yeah, it's a newer card, so it'll be fun to see. Oh, we've got our players here getting ready to go.
So yeah, we're ready. Let's go.
All right, let's kick it off. We got Dr. Stink Fartson on the left side and Woody on the right side.
Yeah, and I wonder if they know what each other is playing, like if they expect each other's decks or not. So let's see how they play this. Oh,
so this is open deck list. So both the players have seen the other players' decks, but they don't know exactly which ones they're using.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, they're gonna find out real soon as the first card is played, because there are no duplicate cards allowed. So the way that the rules work for this tournament is we have 2 decks that these players can choose from. And they don't know which deck they're going to choose, and there's no bans. There's only the only rule is no duplicate cards between the 2 decks.
Ooh, Triskelion, that can be kind of spicy. And they got White Palace as well, so they copied the
highest card. So
they got a little bit of information there.
Yeah, so now they know what each other is playing. Dr. Stink Fartson has that Ajax. So now if Woody wants to go with that Hazmat. They're both going to have the Ajax, so it's not going to be as strong as it would be without that White Palace.
Well, we are ready on turn 4. It seems like this is quite a quick match here. We've got a potential Gwenpool coming down from Dr. Stink Fartson, or...
Dr. Stink Fartson with the early retreat. He had a bad hand. He didn't want to go with it. He did have the Ajax, but he just decided to lose 1 cube and...
Good retreat.
Good retreat.
Yep.
He wasn't feeling it.
Yep.
And he's got a smile on his face. He's okay, you know. Bad draw, bad Triskelion. It's okay.
Oh, a Bar Sinister. Oh.
So with this deck, he already has that Green Goblin. So there's a good chance that that gets played turn 3.
Yeah, I want to see it. Green Goblin on Bar Sinister. Oh, that's so evil.
And we got that early snap by Woody. So Dr. Stink Fartson is retreating later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he retreated.
Smart. No, that's very smart.
We got that Colossus emote, which is a pretty strong emote. I would say.
I don't know. Anytime I've played any emote, Twitch chat says that is toxic. So.
Oh, it's toxic. But,
I don't know.
But
That's toxic.
He's every emote's toxic, but he's strong.
Okay. It's like there's only one emote you can use, pretty much.
Yeah, it's the fist bump.
Ooh. We've got a Castle Blackstone and a Superflow that can give extra energy. This can be interesting.
Yeah, and with Woody's deck, he does have that like toxic clog type stuff, so he's able to potentially play in the Superflow with a Goblin and ruin their extra energy.
White Widow going down. Ooh, Widow's Kiss.
And it didn't matter, actually. Dr. Sync Fartson
Still got that extra energy.
Yeah, so he's still got that 2 extra energies. 5 energy versus 4. That's actually
That's actually a lot.
It is. But we have Morag, so they're gonna have to play into that super flow.
Wow, and he has to skip on that turn as well. It looks like, Green Goblin going down for Woody. There's only one space that Dr. Stink Fartson can play in Castle Blackstone.
That was a good play. I like that play. Like, normally, like, an average player might decide to play in the super flow with the Green Goblin, but it makes sense because now he's clogged.
But the Grandmaster going down on the Castle Blackstone?
Yeah. I don't remember what the copycat ate, but most likely it might take that Green Goblin and send it to the middle.
Lots of choices here.
Yeah, it looks like he's
Dr.
debating between Gwenpool and it looks like Gwenpool is the one that's going down, or
maybe. I mean, he's got some options here. He could play the Grandmaster. That is a choice there.
I do like Grandmaster.
But he would block his own super flow.
No. So Grandmaster would send the Goblin, and it would go back. It would flip back over, but because it would re-trigger. Yeah. But Woody's got the Hobgoblin.
Fun.
Woody has the Hobgoblin.
He could even play. Okay. Oh, the Hobgoblin going down on Superflow. Ghost Spider.
Wow, that is nasty.
Off the Castle Blackstone.
That is nasty. Oh, with the Deadpool emote, Woody is feeling himself. He's nodding his head.
It feels like Dr. Stinkfarts is in a kind of difficult place here.
Yeah, so like we talked about earlier, that Shadow King, it does seem like the Invisible Woman is for that Shadow King. We do have that Mysterio play, and the Mysterio is buff, so that Mysterio clone will put some power into Morag, which is nice.
So that means the Mysterio clones would get buffed too, right?
Yes, and it counts for an extra trigger on that Hitmonkey, so.
All right. Hitmonkey in the middle.
Hitmonkey in the middle.
Invisible Woman and Hitmonkey in the middle. We got the Ravonna going down on Castle Blackstone, and then the Kate Bishop Hawkeye going down for Woody. We see Invisible Woman here, and
yeah, that's a Hitmonkey. That's a Hitmonkey.
It's a Hitmonkey.
So I'm thinking it's the retreat later. I was expecting that retreat later. It makes sense. Very poor position.
That's a good retreat. That's a very good retreat. I know he's had to retreat the past couple of games.
Yeah.
But with the locations and the board state, those are smart retreats.
I agree. And this clog deck, it's really tricky to play against. I called him Dara because his name says Dara in it. But Woody, he can really control the board with those goblins and potentially the Kate Bishop arrows as well. By clogging the opponent's deck, he can really control which lanes Dr. Stink Fartson can even play in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at all the options that Woody has without knowing that he's retreated already. But I mean, he can play so many different things. I mean, with the arrows as well, it's really easy for him to get into the Morag as well.
And they're cheap. They're so cheap. Look, he could play his entire hand, literally, and he has 8 energy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good retreat. Good retreat.
Yeah, really good retreat.
And we got that Deadpool emote. Look at that. That's not everyone has that one yet, although people will have that soon.
Yep, absolutely. All right, getting into the next round. We've got Grand Central as a location.
So yeah,
Fogwell's gym.
Oh, Fogwell's. I like that location, but Dr. Stink Fartson has Fastos in his deck. How do you feel about Fastos? Are you a pro Fastos person?
I like Fastos. Fastos is kind of fun. I mean, it makes everything better in your deck.
I think that Fastos is pretty nice, but there's better cards in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not like the best card ever, but it's a fun card.
It's a fun card. You know, it buffs your deck, so
Yeah,
I can see the appeal. Oh,
Ooh, a Cassandra Nova into the cloning vat.
I'm surprised Woody didn't snap here because
A Sarah going down.
oh,
Maybe?
turn 4 Sarah.
Ooh,
Okay.
a turn 4 Sarah is always nice.
That's
We
really
love that.
good. Yeah. How did he get that Sarah? I did not pay attention.
You think I was?
Oh no, it's just in his hand. It's just in his hands. It's okay.
No,
but
he
yeah.
has the Sarah. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got it.
that's
He's
part
got
of
it in his
deck.
deck. But Cassandra Nova is just, double Cassandra Nova is very difficult to deal with. Like -2 for the rest of your cards that you draw. That sucks.
Yes.
Yes. It sucks so much. Honestly, though, a turn 4 Sarah, that's pretty great.
We always want the turn 4 Sarah.
Wow, look at that. Another
Ooh.
Sage and the Iron Fist. He can just keep
Oh.
cloning that Sage and putting it wherever he wants.
You know what? I was wondering how that Iron Fist was going to work before we started this, but I can see how. I mean, it's doing wonders. That's great.
Also, he does have that.
Ooh, the Shadow King and
The Shadow
Hitmonkey.
King,
That's
yeah.
kind of fun. And a Nocturne as well.
Yeah.
But
So another nice thing about that Iron Fist, just to go back to that real quick, is that he does have the dagger. So Iron Fist, dagger, and Ghost Spider. So there's a few cards that have some good synergy with Iron Fist. Not just Sage in this instance.
for sure. We're going to see the Shadow King, Hitmonkey, Grandmaster, plus Nocturne all go down.
Wow, and Woody retreat. Honestly, that was a good retreat. I think that Dr. Stink Fartson had a good advantage there. Good retreat.
Yeah, very well done. That evens out the score a little bit. All right, so now we are down to Dr. Stink Fartson with 7 cubes and Woody at 8 cubes.
Really even game so far.
Are they gonna snap?
But this is high stakes. It's round 5, so now everything is
Sakar.
doubled.
The Hobgoblin going down on Sakar. That's brutal.
That
the
is.
copycat.
The copycat, I think, got Sage. It looks like so.
Okay.
That's why it's +2.
Savage Land. All right. We got 2 Raptors filling up
We
the
got
board
a
a little
snap.
bit.
So that was
snap?
Dr. Stink. Oh no, that was Woody. Woody just snapped.
Woody just snapped. All right. So Dr. Stink Fartson, this is a crucial round here. Does he want to continue on this with the hand that he has?
Yeah, I don't think he knows yet. He's thinking about it. I don't remember what he had in his hand, so I don't know what he's playing. But it looks like he's gonna retreat.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. He wasn't feeling good about that hand. You know what? Play when you're confident. So good retreat.
Honestly, that's a great retreat because, I mean, look at what he had in his hand.
Yeah, he had Absorbing Man, which could have done some cool stuff, but
Ooh, it's the high stakes round 6 here.
yeah, high stakes
New
again.
York. On turn 6, you can move cards to this location.
Yeah, so honestly, if I'm in Woody's position, New York is a really good lane to clog with like the Green Goblin or Hobgoblin if he gets it because he's able to
That
kind
will
of control and prevent Dr. Stink Fartson from moving stuff and juking him out a little.
Absolutely. We're going to see a Nocturne go down on Asgard and a Cassandra Nova.
All right. So honestly, Shadow King this meta, like I really like Shadow King this meta because Cassandra Nova is honestly one of the best cards in the game currently. Oh, we got a
Green
full lane.
Goblin going down on Asgard. Shadow King bringing that Cassandra Nova to 0 and then an Invisible Woman.
So good news for Dr. Stink Fartson, he got to draw 2 cards. Bad news, he only has 6 power in that lane. However, he does still have that Nocturne he can move. Also, there also is that New York. So
Yeah, and a Sarah is going down, so his cards are going to be 1 cost less. So
Yes.
that's going to help him out. Let's see what Woody has as well in his hand. He's got some spicy cards as well.
he's got some good cards. Honestly, I think Woody wishes he has that dagger. We haven't really seen any dagger play. Dagger moving to the right lane is 12 power right now. So I bet he wishes he has that, but he doesn't, unfortunately. And dagger with New York, it looks like he might be retreating.
Is he though? Did he press retreat?
I can't tell.
I can't tell either. But he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it, and he does.
All right, he did retreat. Wow, this is a game full of retreats here.
You know what, though? In this game, in Marvel Snap, the key to doing well is knowing when to retreat.
I think a game full of retreats indicates very high-skilled players.
I agree. I agree.
Because the main thing with this game is knowing when to retreat. So
Yes.
these players, they're doing great. I think they're making great decisions.
It's a very even game. You know, it's only a 1 cube difference. It's look what 5
It's
to
a
6?
tight game. I mean, look at this. We've been here back and forth. It's round 7 already, and it's 5
To 6.
To 6.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Turn 3 already.
I know.
Wow, we moved through this.
Oh, we got the peak.
The peak. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
Look at Woody's cards here.
Woody has some
Oh my
really spicy stuff he can play. But that hook, Hit Monkey in Dark Dimension. So you know what? That's a free Invisible Woman.
Oh, that's fun. That's really fun.
So that's good synergy with Hit Monkey.
And it's a cheaper Sarah as well. I mean, we love
turn 4
Sarah. On turn
So this
4.
is actually not bad for
but look at Woody. He's got so many 0-cost cards here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
a 0/2 dagger. He's also got that Iron Fist.
Look at the goblin. Oh wait, we can't actually. The goblins are kind of bad.
The goblins are actually not horrible because he can still clog. I mean, an 03
Yeah, but
goblin, but the 05 is bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
The 05 is bad. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, we got that turn 4 Sarah. Turn 4 Sarah means that Dr. Sink Fartson has 2 full turns of 1 cost less cards. That's a pretty good advantage. I would say right now I feel like Dr. Sink Fartson's in a slightly advantaged board state.
Yeah, because especially with the 2 goblins, he can't really play those unless
Yeah.
he wants to give power over. So he's really got
Exactly.
like Iron Fist. Well, I think Woody's already made his turn that we kind of missed here, so we're gonna see what he's about to play.
The only thing I would even consider playing is that green goblin and on the left lane, so it's only 1 power to clog him, you know?
No, absolutely. A lot of choices here for both players.
So Woody does have that dagger with some move cards, but it looks like he's filling up that dark dimension.
Oh, the Gwenpool boosts some of those cards there. There's a lot of choices here for Dr. Stink Fartson. I mean, look, his cards are so cheap right now. There's so many things that he can play.
Yeah, and that Hit Monkey is already a 2/5 without the other extra cards that he's playing.
The Hit Monkey, I mean, that can get super spicy.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna get that double trigger.
Wow, he's going to be able to play a lot of cards here.
So it really depends on where Woody decides to play. It looks like who's got the priority? I think Dr. Stink Fartson has a priority. So we will have some goblins being played down, it looks like, because he had the goblins in his hand and his hand is empty. I don't know where he played everything, but we will see real soon.
Yep, absolutely. Ooh, a lot of cards going down here. We got the Mysterios going down for Dr. Stink Fartson and Copycat on the right side. That Hit Monkey getting a huge boost, although Woody hasn't played anything on the left side.
Yeah, so Dr. Stink Fartson definitely loses that left. He read that the right lane was going to be full, and he wins that right location. It does not matter anything else because left and right is Woody's.
Wow!
And that's it. This is for all the marbles. 5-cube game, and it's over.
Oh my god!
With the
Wait.
pull. It doesn't matter. With the pull, and does he? Oh, almost a casserole. Almost.
Oh!
And YoWoody
YoWoody moves on!
to the top 4.
Wow, what a game!
All right, so we're gonna get YoWoody to come on to to get interviewed. So I'm gonna step away, and Felicity, you can take it from here when we get YoWoody. But it's been really fun casting with you. So thank you for inviting me.
Teppy. Thank you so much for casting with me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. But yeah, let's give Woody some time to.
Well done to both players. That
Well
was
done.
such an intense game. I
Yeah.
mean, there were some really high-level plays there.
We're gonna get that hand. Oh, the hug. Yo, they're
I love
homies.
it.
They're bros. Hey, Woody, we want you to come over here. We're gonna interview you.
Well done to both players. You guys did such a great job. All right, guys, I am here with Woody. How do you feel after that match?
I feel really good. I mean, I knew out of the two decks, I don't know if my reasoning or my thought process was right or whatever, but I feel like my opponent, Big Baby, probably thought I was more likely to bring the deck I brought. Um, so he was going to bring a deck that was good into it, like a deck that was better into it, which made me want to switch to the other deck I have, which is a Surfer deck.
Oh.
But I went a level deeper. I thought, well, if he thinks, if he's gonna bring this deck because he thinks that I think he's gonna bring this deck, I'm just gonna bring the original deck and have the better matchup out of the two. Yeah, and it actually worked. He
So
brought the deck I
you
wanted
basically
him to
mind
bring.
gamed your opponent.
Yeah,
That's what you were
yeah, I
doing.
mind
Wow.
gamed my
Wow.
opponent.
What a troll.
And I had some insane locations though. Like the location luck in those first, I think it was like first 3 games, I was like snapping turn 1 or 2, like 3 games in a row because we had Bar Sinister.
Oh,
Bar
yeah,
Sinister
we
was just
saw that.
insane with
Yeah,
White Widow
yeah,
and Green
absolutely.
Goblin and stuff. So he has to go there. And then there was that one game where he hit like the actual insane Giganut high roll on his deck, which is like you play Fastos and you top deck a 4-cost Sarah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
He had a cheap Sarah. I think like two of the games or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We saw that.
And that is scary, but also the thing about that line is that, actually, I don't know why he didn't snap me there. That was kind of crazy. I thought he would have snapped before playing Sarah on turn 4, but he snapped on turn 5, which actually I would have stayed. If he snapped me again, I would have stayed, but he snapped me a turn before. But yeah, I'm feeling very good right now. I'm very excited to be. This is top 4 now, right? Like I'm
yeah,
in top 4
you guys
now.
are about to get into the top
That
4.
is
That's
insane.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Did you think you would make it this far?
I did not. I did not.
Really?
Yeah. I'm very pessimistic, like a pessimistic outlook on my tournament results.
Yeah.
So I always expect to underperform, but I'm
No,
very
you-
happy.
You've done an incredible job. Did you have any what was your thought process in choosing the 2 decks that you would use in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in a tournament where you bring multiple decks or like 2 decks, I pretty much just like to bring one deck that I've been playing like a lot recently and have like a bunch of matchup knowledge with, which is the Ajax deck I was just playing. I've been playing that a bunch, and even in like really hard matchups, I think that I'm just good enough with the deck and I've played enough with it to win. And then outside of that, like I like to bring decks with a lot of tech cards, like generally good tech cards, and then just choose between the two. Like if I see my opponent's deck list and it's open deck list, or now I know my opponent is a fan of playing some degenerate style decks of like insane high roll combos, and I'll choose a tech card one. And then if not, even if it's like a kind of hard matchup, I would rather just choose a deck I'm really comfortable with. And it's also nice in a format like this when it's like your opponent can see both of your decks. If you bring a deck with a lot of tech cards and then just play the deck you're good at, a lot of times it will like force your opponent to respect the other deck and be like, okay, well, I don't want to die to these tech cards, so I'm going to play this deck instead, but you don't even actually play it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when you are I'm actually so curious about this. When you are making your decks, do you focus on like who your first opponent is? Like, I mean, it is an open deck format, right? So,
Yeah.
but then you have like the top 16, top 8, top 4 to like in the finals. So like, do you look at all of their decks and then decide, or are you like more focused on like the first few rounds? Like, how does that work? Like, I have no idea what like I would even do in that case.
Yeah, I just like to bring generally good decks, and since it's a bunch of good players, I'm less thinking about like what individual opponents will bring and more just like what the current meta is, because like if there are a lot of good players in the bracket, they're probably going to be playing a lot of like meta decks. So like I really wanted to bring Cassandra Nova in both of my decks, but you can't have any overlap. But
Yeah.
like there's a lot of
Yeah.
Airshim and Loki, and she's good into both of those. And that's the kind of thought process I use when making my deck. So I'm like, okay, if I cut Cassandra Nova from my list because I have to play something else, then I have to replace it with a card that I think is like also good into the matchups that she's good into, like I don't really know, like Mobius or Shadow King, for instance, against Loki and Arsham. So yeah, I'm mainly just thinking about what's good in the meta, and if I need to make a sacrifice in one deck that has a harder time in a certain matchup, it's not even that big of a deal because I can just choose the other deck. Like if I
Yeah.
really thought I was going to play Airshim, I would just choose my Surfer deck, which has Cassandra Nova in it. So yeah, it's mainly just about what's good in the current meta.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's really cool. So when you make your decks, are you like, I guess how are you thinking about it? Like, are you like, do you base it off of like existing decks, or do you just try to create decks like completely on your own?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a mix between the two. I would say most of the decks that I make draw like inspiration of certain core ideas from other decks. And then there are also just decks like the Surfer deck I have for the tournament has been, it's like the oldest deck in my deck editor. It's been there for like, I don't even know how long, like 5 months or something maybe.
Oh,
And I
wow.
just like small tweaks to it here and there. But then the Ajax one is literally a deck that I made at the very beginning of the season that I've been playing a bunch. And it was based off of like a deck people were playing a while ago, but like the entire deck is kind of built from the ground up, where Surfer is just like, certain archetypes are just easy to build. Like Surfer, you just put your 3 drops in, like Absorbing Man, Gwenpool, or whatever. So it is kind of like a fusion between the two.
Okay, very cool. Do you have any decks where you feel like you're like that are your favorite archetypes, and are there any decks that you're like weaker at playing? And if you don't want to answer that because of the tournament going on, that's okay.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
I'm just curious.
I mean, my favorite archetypes are definitely like high sequencing decision decks, like Bounce. Like I really like Bounce, where
Wow.
there's just like so many possible play lines, and you're like, I could like Falcon now, or I could hold and Beast now, and like Black Swan later, or whatever. Like all these different decisions, and like decks that I don't really like interacting with my opponent very much. I don't like playing a lot of tech cards, but I do like I'm also paying very close to my attention, or very close attention to my opponent a lot, because I like just playing like raw points and like decks with like super high outplay potential, where it's like my input or my output range is kind of undefined, and it's easy for me to know what my opponent is doing because I'm playing into like a meta list or whatever, and harder for them to know what I'm doing. But for some reason, I have never ever been good with Zoo. Every time I play Zoo, I just get slapped. I have no idea why. They've
That's
been adding
so
like
interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like Zoo is like a more like straightforward
Yeah,
one.
I know it is. It is. I have
That's
no
so
idea
funny.
why.
That's so funny. I mean, I think you're just like too big brain for all of us.
Yeah, too big brain. Too big brain.
Okay, so for like another question is for anybody who is new to like deck building, do you have any advice for someone? Because like I don't think I'm very good at deck building, and like what are some things that like advice that you have for people who are new, and like things to like consider like when you're building a new deck?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're building, like, if you want to get better at just, I would say there's like multiple levels that you can take up to being able to just like build like fully realized original decks on your own. And I actually used to be really bad at building decks.
Really?
Yeah, but it was my
Wow.
favorite part of the game, so I wanted to get better at it. And the way I got better is just by like watching other creators who focus on like different decks, like a lot of different decks. Like TLSG was the one that I watched a lot.
Wow.
And he would always like pick these decks from like tournaments, like high tournament placings or like high ladder players, and show them off. And I a lot of times did not have the cards for them. And so it kind of actually forces you to like get a little creative with deck building and making swaps and stuff. And you can like take a deck that somebody else has built that's already good and kind of like use the bones of it to build a different deck. Like the deck that I'm playing right now, the Ajax one, is based off of a deck that a couple people on ladder were playing a few months ago with like hazmat, or not hazmat, like clog, dagger, like move stuff. But I like combined it with like the core pieces, like Ajax hazmat of an Ajax deck, and I think that's actually a really good way to get better at deck building. Is just like start with like somebody else's core and like modify it to do stuff that you like.
Very cool. I think you've done an incredible job of that. I mean, like we were looking at your deck beforehand. I was like, oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that was awesome. So Is this the first in-person tournament that you've done for Marvel Snap?
Yeah.
Okay, how is that like? How is that different from like? Because I'm sure you've done some online tournaments,
Yeah, I
right?
have,
Like,
yeah.
is it a different experience, or do you feel like it's kind of the same? Like,
No, I think it is way different.
Yeah.
And it is way more fun. Like,
Yeah?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
doing an in-person tournament, it is so much more fun. Like, because like everyone here, all the top players, like I respect so much, and like
Aw.
being here, like on the stage with them, I don't know, it just makes it feel like bigger, and
Yeah.
I get like way more nervous, but also like excited.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is super exciting, and I like online tournaments are also, kind of annoying sometimes because they can
You
go
think
on
so?
for like 14 hours at a time. I'm just like sitting
Aw.
at my desk, but I don't know. Like,
I mean, I guess this is long too, but like you're like interacting with so many people.
It's
That's
like an
fun.
event.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm doing an online tournament, I'm just like sitting there doing nothing in between games.
Yeah.
And yeah. Here it's a completely different experience, but it is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing I'm really curious about is like, you go up there, you're on a completely different setup, right? Like you're not on your phone, you're not on your PC. You have these headphones that are blasting like the in-game music plus the white noise that's supposed to cancel out the sound. So
Yeah.
it's like it's so different for you. Like was that like did that affect you? Did it mess you up at all? Like what was that like?
Well, I feel like as long as I have like my account and my variants, it kind of makes me feel like I'm playing in my own setup.
Yeah.
And then also I had like my wireless earbuds with my Snap streaming playlist, so it did kind of feel
Oh,
like I
cool.
was sitting like at my own setup.
Okay.
And it helped ease my nerves a little bit, get me into the groove of like how I'd normally be playing at home.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you were able to have like a little bit of that, and you came
Yeah.
prepared for that because like we do want to give players like a good experience, but at the same time we have to have the like noise canceling
Yeah, yeah.
headphones with the white noise blasting. Like I wasn't sure like how people would feel about that, but it does a good job, right? You can't hear anything.
Yeah. Especially
Isn't
with my
that crazy?
with my headphones on. It is crazy.
When we were testing it earlier, I was like, "Whoa, technology these days! I can't hear like anything that anyone's saying at all." People were like yelling, and I was like, "This is great."
Yeah, it was like not the white noise was like not a big deal. I couldn't even hear the white noise because my music was so loud.
Oh,
I was
that's
just
good.
jamming out.
That's perfect. That's good. That means we did a good job.
Yeah.
So, are you excited for like the rest of the tournament?
Yes, I am super excited. Like my projected forecasted bracket. Okay, first of all, the match that is happening next, it's KX versus Husky.
Oh.
Yeah, they
okay.
are my homies, both of them. They're who I came here with.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is going to be an insane game, and no matter which one of them wins, I hope that I get to face either or. Like
Yeah.
KX was in the first tournament that I ever entered for Snap, and he is the one that
wow.
actually knocked me out.
That's
And then
awesome.
Husky I've never actually gotten to go up against in a tournament.
Really?
So, yeah. So it's like I have
okay.
kind of a rivalry payback thing with KX, but then I also kind of want to go against Husky because I've never went up against him in a tournament
Yeah.
before. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Hopefully I can get to the finals with one of them.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. I think that will be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to wrap up here because I know the other players are getting their stuff ready. So we're going to be transitioning soon into the top 4 in a little bit. I know we have a little bit of time left, but we are going to cut over to a break. Thank you so much, YoWoody. I
thank you for having
appreciate
me.
it. And good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys. Thank you.